for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Man, just want to get my final thoughts on the New Orleans Saints 26-8 loss on Sunday versus the Los Angeles Chargers. It was embarrassing. I think we all can agree with that. Just want to go ahead and just talk a little bit about this game and kind of just put it to rest. I will say that I'm doing this live, and it is approximately 1:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Dennis Allen still has a job. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm just completely at a loss for words. I don't understand this whole angle. I don't know if the New Orleans Saints just feel like maybe Dennis Allen just is so horrible that maybe they can get themselves out of the position by him stinking it up and guys not being inspired to play for him. So maybe, just maybe, they'll lose enough games for them to be picking in the top 5, and maybe they can get the quarterback of the future or a player of the future that can actually help turn around this franchise. Maybe that's the case, because that got to be what they're thinking, because there is no way in the world, there is no way on God's green earth that this team actually believes that Dennis Allen can help this team be a better football team after what we have seen over the last couple of weeks. I mean, the Saints are not just losing football games, they're getting wiped off the field. I mean, it is absolutely embarrassing. The Saints fans that I have talked to and I have heard from, I mean, people just feel mad disrespected because Mickey Loomis just refuses to do what needs to be done, and that is firing Dennis Allen. Now, firing Dennis Allen is not going to change what is going on with this franchise, but I honestly feel like it's a step in the right direction. It's not just what Dennis Allen can do, it's what he represents at this point. And what he represents is a losing culture. I mean, you go and you take a look at the press conference after the game on Sunday. That's a guy that is defeated and dejected. Why are you allowing this guy to stand in front of the media and give these lifeless press conferences to talk about this football team, knowing that he doesn't have the answer? I mean, it is just sad. Like, this is a defeated man. And I feel yesterday, looking back at the press conference, I kind of feel like Dennis Allen wants to be fired. That's the way I look at it. I think that he wants to be fired, but of course, we know how the NFL is. We don't like people to quit. We don't want people to walk away, right? I remember, everybody remember Bobby Petrino back in the day when he was coaching the Atlanta Falcons, and he wrote the Dear John letter to his team and put it in everybody's locker when he decided to walk away and go coach the University of Arkansas. And everybody just looked at him as a quitter. So he's not going to quit. He's going to try to battle this thing through and see it through, because, you know, your football career is on the line. If it doesn't pan out here in New Orleans because you are good at coaching defense, you'll bounce back. Somebody's going to hire you to coach their defense and be a defensive coordinator. So all is not lost if you're Dennis Allen. But to me, it just seems to me like he wants to be fired, or he just knows that the writing is on the wall. He knows the guys aren't responding to him. And what you see right now, from this team, going back and taking a look at the highlights and looking at some of the things that happened in the game. I got an opportunity to kind of watch the game that were commercial free earlier this morning. And it seems like to me, what you have is what I like to call the pickle jar mentality. And what I mean by that is, if you ever like had a pickle jar that was kind of really tight and you couldn't really twist the top off, so you just start passing it around, who can twist this pickle jar off? And everybody's using their string like trying to twist the pickle jar lid off, right? They're just trying to twist it off. Everybody like, man, let me do it. Let me try. And they can't do it. Then the next person, let me try. That is what you're seeing out there when it comes to the Saints defense and offense. It's a bunch of guys not working together. It's just one guy trying to make something happen for the team. And by doing that, you basically just erase everything that you know, and you miss your assignments because the only thing that you're trying to do is trying to get this lid off the pickle jar. And you're trying to use every bit of strength. You're trying to do every little tactic or every little secret move that you've seen in the past. You're beating the bottom of the pickle jar to try to twist the lid off, right? You're doing all these different things. And guys are basically making business decisions, going into business for themselves. Like Nathan Shepard on yesterday. Look, I like every Saints player. I think Nathan Shepard is a good, solid player. But that was Bush League what he did to Justin Herbert on yesterday, like twisting a man ankle when he down on the ground. Like that's just completely Bush League type stuff there. There's no need for that. I'm pretty sure he's going to get fined justifiably. So look, man, you don't want to be doing things like that and resorting to that type of behavior. I just want to let that be known. But you see a lot of guys out here that is trying to make a play, trying to be heroes. And when you're trying to be hero and playing hero ball, it's only going to be a recipe for disaster. So it's good to try to make plays, but sometimes it's just good to get the guy on the ground. I see guys ripping at the ball, trying to rip the ball out of the J.K. Dobbins' hands. Instead of trying to get him on the ground, you probably would have had a -3-yard loss there, but instead people are ripping at the football. Why are you trying to rip at the football if it's just you and that particular running back? Just get him on the ground. I feel like ripping at the football is like for game tackling. Like you might have a guy who stands the player up and the guy comes behind him and knocks the ball out like, peanut punch or whatever. But it's a lot of business decisions, a lot of people going into business for themselves. And I think that is a reflection of the coach, because if they actually believed in the coach and what he was actually selling them and what he was asking them to do, then they would fall in line and do it accordingly. But it's pretty clear that the respect level is not the same for Dennis Allen. I think guys like Dennis Allen, but I think when it all comes down to it, I think what you have is a team that just don't believe in what this guy is selling. And I think he understands that. And looking at his press conferences, like that's not leadership right there. That's a defeated man. And part of me just feel like he wants to get that phone call that says we want to go in another direction. But for some apparent reason, Mickey Loomis just believes that he's Bill Belichick. I just don't understand it. But as long as this continues to happen, we are going to be subjected to bad football. It's just that plain and simple. It's going to be bad football that we're going to be watching. It's going to be football that you rather go out and cut your grass or do that honeydew list, or maybe go out and try to get those Thanksgiving decorations for your house, or maybe some Christmas lights. They got some really good sales going on right now, leading up to Black Friday. So you got a lot of things that you can do rather than watch this team fumble all over themselves. And I've been lobbying, and this sounds crazy, but might sound crazy to some, might sound like gospel to others, but that's the reason why I'm lobbying for people not to show up to the Dome. I mean, showing up to the Superdome is just a huge waste of time, like at this point. And when you're dealing with people who are, driven by money and ticket sales and all that other stuff, like you got to hit them where it hurts. Millionaires and billionaires don't understand anything except for money loss. That's the only, you're not going to get their attention by tweeting about it. You're not going to get their attention by, writing emails. Like they don't care. Like the way that you hurt them is economically. That's the only way that they're going to feel this. So if you're going to the Caesar Superdome, my recommendation would be not to go. And I'm kind of conflicted myself, man, because my wife, man, I love her to death. She ended up buying me tickets to the Saints Carolina Panthers game out in Bank of America in Charlotte this coming weekend. And I'm really conflicted about should I go or not. And the thing about it is, it's not like, okay, it'll be one thing if, let's just say, if the Saints were winning or something, or Carolina was winning. There you go. If Carolina was winning, like let's say Carolina like 5-2, maybe I could sell the ticket and somebody will buy it. But both teams are garbage. One team is 1-7, the other team is 2-6. It's the toilet bowl. So I'm kind of conflicted. Like, should I go to the game, or should I just lose out on money that my wife spent on me to get that ticket? So I don't know, man. But all I know is I don't feel like anybody should invest their money in these football games. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous that this guy still has a job. Like, this man is still working. This man is still working. It's absolutely unbelievable that the man is still working. Like, he is literally still has a job, which I just don't get. I just don't get. I just don't understand how this man's still employed. But let me go ahead and read some of these comments, man. I'm going to read some of these comments. I really do appreciate everybody being here. And I also want to mention the fine folks at BETUS, the proud sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. You can sign up and get a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your second and third deposit up to $2,000. Download the BETUS app. Use the promo code YouTube150. That's YouTube150. Go with Jerry here. Jerry says the team is not fun to watch anymore as long as this loser of a coach is still here. Now you see why I say F the media. Don't want their praises. We suck. Well, there ain't nothing for them to praise. There's nothing for them to praise. And even the most optimistic Saints fan, people that are giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I find it quite hilarious. I understand that as long as they're mathematically in it, like, you got to kind of lobby for them or say, okay, man, it's not over, but it's over. It's over, man. And, you got some people out here that just want to keep, like, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I don't care how much revenue I'm getting. I don't care what the sponsor is looking like. I ain't about to allow to kick it. I ain't about to sit up here and still fake hoping people so they can continue to go to my page so I can continue to get paid. That just ain't gonna be me. I'm not gonna do it. Like, I get why some people want that to happen because their careers are determined by people clicking on their stuff. I get it. I understand. But I'm not going to instill false hope and at the expense of others, because I'm just trying to make sure that I stay paid. I stay with some money in my pocket. Nah. I can, like, honestly, I love everybody here, but I completely understand if people don't want to watch anything pertaining to the New Orleans Saints. That includes watching the State of the Saints podcast. Look, y'all know I just keep it 100. I appreciate everybody here, but I can understand why people want to tune out after watching these guys just fumble all over themselves week after week. Mickey Loomis continues to triple down on Dennis Allen. The beatdowns just get worse and worse. The message just becomes lower and lower to a point where it doesn't even exist anymore. The love for the football team in 2024 is like, it's like people, two married couples, or a married couple sleeping in different rooms, and like y'all just didn't sign the divorce papers. That's basically what it's like, and that's how it feels watching this football team. Like, we're so like deplugged, what I'm saying, or unplugged from this team. Like, you're just completely unplugged from this team. Like, no emotional investment at all. Like, no type of confidence. Like, looking at like Dennis Allen, just, man, it's just disgraceful, man. Watching this sorry excuse for a head coach. like after these press conferences, like there's nothing about this guy that just gives you any type of hope. And it's just so miserable, man. Like at least if this dude would fire, like people's like, man, firing him, what are you going to gain? You're going to gain a peace of mind in knowing that next year there's an opportunity that you can get better. That's what it represents. Like if people talk about, oh, the Saints don't operate like that. The Saints don't, like, I am so sick of hearing people say the Saints don't operate like that. That's the problem. That's the problem. These customs, these traditions that they just hang their hats on, the Saints way that they just constantly try to throw up in our face because they got that little rusty ring back in 2009. Now all of a sudden they tell us that they know about winning. No, Drew Brees knew about winning. Sean Payton knew about winning. Mickey Loomis was just there for the ride. And that's what we're seeing right now. So all this stuff about, oh, that's just how they operate, like the way that they operate sucks. And they're not good. It is not look, sometimes when you first start off doing things, it might be the right way to go. But you got to be able to adapt with the times. You got to be able to switch it up. If you don't switch it up, then you're going to become lost in the sauce. And what the New Orleans Saints are doing is being lost in the sauce. And they are like, the New Orleans Saints are like the pimp on I'm going to get you, sucker. Y'all remember Huggy Bear. Y'all remember that scene when Huggy Bear got out of jail, and he was in jail locked up all those years. And he was like, man, I'm about to kill a game. He came out there, with the pimp suit on, had the little zebra hat with the platform shoes with the fish in it. And he walking down the street, thought he was cooler than an Ice Cube, and everybody just looking at him, making fun of him like, dude, where you been? Like nobody dressed like that anymore. And, you start feeling uncomfortable like, man, what's going on here? That's what the Saints are. The Saints are Huggy Bear getting out the pen, thinking that he cool and sharp with the bell bottoms on, with the platform shoes, with the fish in it, and people laughing at you because people don't dress like that no more. The things that you're doing that used to work, they don't work anymore. So you got to be able to change with the times, man. You got to be able to adapt with the times. What these customs that they're used to don't work anymore. And as soon as they realize that, the better. But as long as they don't, then we're going to be tortured by seeing Dennis Allen dazed and confused on the sidelines, quitting when you're in plus territory on a 4th and 1 on the Chargers' 45-yard line. And it's your team at the time is 2-5, and you punting the football. Quitting loser culture is reigning supreme in New Orleans. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Stroll down a little bit because I know I said a lot. TJ, I'd rather you not go, but that's your decision. If it was me, I wouldn't go. Bad as this team is. I'll be honest with you. I'm contemplating it. I just know that, my wife, anybody know my wife? Y'all, some of y'all seen pictures of my wife. My wife doesn't like being on camera. My wife doesn't even really like football like that, but she knows how much it means to me. And she ended up like buying those tickets. So it's like I'm conflicted. Like I'm conflicted to a point where I'm like, I don't want, I know she did this, because she loves me and she supports me. And, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm just over it. I'm over it. But I kind of feel like this, like, what if I go and it's like, like WrestleMania, like I went to WrestleMania 30, right? It was in New Orleans, and it was the WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar broke the streak of the Undertaker, right? What if I go to Bank of America to the Saints Carolina Panthers game, and the Saints lose to the Carolina Panthers, and this is the game that gets Dennis Allen fired? I can forever say that I was at the game that determined the fate of Dennis Allen. So I don't know, man, but I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted at this point. Says, I got tickets to go to the Falcon game week 10, but I'm having second thoughts now. This is ridiculous. Real, let's see, real stuff right there. Yeah. Now the NFC South roundtable will be blasting with Falcon fans running their mouths. I don't care, man. Like, a Falcon fan, like, to me, like, that stuff don't bother me, man. Like, it don't bother me at all, because it's only been like 1 year, but you would swear like they're the Ravens or the Chiefs or something. Like, you would swear, like, I get that you're happy that you're winning, but how many years has it been? Like, think about this, right? Think about somebody you've been playing basketball with for 10 years and you've been spanking them every single year for 10 years. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, like, maybe they start beating you. Like, they beat you or whatever. And you're like, yeah, man, I told you, bro, I'm better than you, bro. I'm that dude, man. Yo, man, you suck, man. Like, dude, it's only one game. It's only been like, this is like the first year in, I want to say, nearly a decade that the New Orleans Saints, after 8 weeks, didn't have a better record than the Atlanta Falcons. So when they come and they say stuff to me like, man, your team lost 6 straight. Man, how can you talk, man? How you can talk? It's easy. It's easy. It's not like, if I'm talking to a Chiefs fan, I can understand. Like, man, why are you talking, man? We done won back-to-back Super Bowl. We done won 3 Super Bowls. Like, I can understand that. They won like 4 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I can understand, like, okay, talking to them. But a Falcon fan, like, y'all just got back to relevancy this year. And that's just the way that they work. They absorb everything that makes them look like they were bottom feeders. And then when they up, they're like, well, we talking about right now. Like, I don't care about that. Like, you got to talk. Look, it's good that you feel this way. But at the end of the day, like, you ain't did enough winning for me to sit up here and just be like, okay, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to make something very clear. I don't care if the Saints didn't win a game. I'm looking forward to seeing the Falcons fail. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm happy that they're excited. I'm happy they winning games. I'm happy that the Falcons are giving them this false hope that they loving right now, because I already know what's going to happen. They're not that good. They're going to go into the playoffs. They're going to go up against a team like the Commanders. They're going to go up against a team like the Detroit Lions, and they're going to get their ass whooped. They're going to get embarrassed and humiliated, and then they're going to be like, well, at least we made the playoffs. Miss me with that nonsense. They're not that good. They're not that good. If you can play mistake-free football against the Atlanta Falcons, if they can't, like, if you go out there and you just basically don't turn the ball over, you play basically just, don't really make mistakes, you convert, you're gonna beat them. And if you have a pass rush, if you have a credible pass rush, you can get to the quarterback, you're gonna beat them. So I'm happy. Like, yeah, win as many games you want to, have all this bravado, beat on your chest. But I guarantee you, there's not a doubt in my mind that when they make it to the postseason, they're going to get slapped around. And I'm going to love every minute of it. You call me a hater all you want to. You're absolutely right. I do not like the Falcons. I hope they lose every game. And honestly, I hope they get to a point where they feel like they're going to do something and they get their hearts broke. That's how I feel about the Atlanta Falcons. I really do. Shouts out to everybody that's Falcon fans. But at the end of the day, that's what I want. Somebody says, you big mad. Absolutely. I am mad. Are you happy? I'm mad that the New Orleans Saints are 2-6. I'm mad that the Atlanta Falcons are prosperous. But I can't stand the Atlanta Falcons because they some of the fakest fans I've ever seen in my life. Last week, when they lost to the Seattle Seahawks, I didn't see none of this. But when they win and the Saints lose, they want to show up. You're the fakest fans I've ever seen in my life. They got a few of them out there that support the team regardless. I see constantly, and those are the ones that I respect. But the ones that I don't are the fake ones that I only see when they win and the Saints lose. You're not real fans. And I guarantee you, when y'all up, y'all gonna be seen, but when y'all down, y'all gonna be nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. It never fails. I don't even have to watch a Falcon game. I can tell y'all one by when I go back to my ex, I see retweets. If you lose, I don't see those retweets. But me, I don't don't care. My team can be 2-6 and I'm still talking. I hope that they fail. Like, I'm dead serious from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul. I don't care how I feel. I don't care how this looks. I do not like the Atlanta Falcons. I hope that they fail every single year. I take pride in knowing that they ain't never won a Super Bowl. I take pride that they always fall short. And I feel good in knowing that they're putting up these numbers and they have this winning record only to get y'all soul crushed. And I'm honest, I might hire a second line when they fail. That's the way I feel about it. I do not like the Falcons at all. I do not like the Falcons at all. And people say like, oh man, you big mad. I don't care. That stuff don't bother me. That stuff don't bother me, man. Yes, I am big mad. What's that supposed to do? Oh, look at him. Look at him. He big mad. Of course. Look, who's going to be happy that their team falling short? Who's going to be happy that their team falling short? I don't like the Falcons. I hope y'all fail. I'm going to continue to say that. Call me a hater. I am. Call me big mad. I am. Call me saying that I'm talking to my team 2-6. I am. And I'm going to be talking when you fail. So make sure the energy that y'all came here with smiles on your face, make sure that you come back when the Falcons get their behinds whooped in the playoffs, because you want to hear that show too. So don't come in here grandstanding. Make sure that you come back when your team lose too, because I see a plethora of Atlanta Falcon fans every time your team win. But let me see that same energy when you lose, because if you don't, I'm going to call you a fake fan. Red Swarm, shouts out to you. That's one of the realest fans up in here. That's one of the realest fans in here. Good, bad, and different. Red Swarm in the building. Courtney, good, bad, and different in the building. Good, bad, and different. But some of y'all unfamiliar territory. I don't know half of y'all. Y'all just here because you're grandstanding. So I find it hilarious that you're here, because I know that you won't be when your team lose. But yeah, calling me big mad, like that might hurt somebody else, but it don't hurt me at all. It don't affect me at all. I will tell you, I am a card carrying member of the Atlanta Falcon hate club. I can't stand the Atlanta Falcons because they don't have a real fan base. They got a few real Falcon fans out there, but most of them just kind of hop on and just hop on for the ride. I mean, just the true definition of Atlanta, like, to me. Like, anything that's hot, they hop on. And they winning right now, so the majority of them hopping on it. So, for the exception of, like I said, like people like my guy Smitty and Berto and Red Swarm and Courtney, like these are the people that I see constantly. Regardless, they talking about the team. But you got some of these new unfamiliar people. Yeah. Yeah, but that don't hurt me. Am I big mad? Absolutely. But I'm going to be big happy when they get waxed out and get put out the playoffs. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, I might pay for a second line. I might pay for a second line. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for them to fall short. TJ, they belong to me. Keep that energy. Oh, I'm going to keep the energy. I'm still keeping it. Like, that's what y'all understand. If I didn't keep the energy, and then we'll move on, because I don't want, I don't want to keep on talking about this. If I didn't keep the same energy, I would have deleted the tweets that people are retweeting. Like I said, I feel real good about the Saints winning the South. I talked about Falcon fans being delusional. If I didn't keep the same energy, I would have deleted those tweets. I give you all ammunition to retweet. If I was just sitting up here like being emotional about it, I would have erased it. Would I not? So there you go. I want to keep, like I said, I'm keeping the same energy. My team is 2-6, and I'm still talking about the Falcons gonna fail. It don't get no straight-laced energy more straight-laced than that. It doesn't get any more straight-laced than that. Kirk Cousins is the king of the choking anyway. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He really is. He's a good quarterback. Like, I'll give him. I don't have anything against Kirk Cousins. I don't have anything against Kirk Cousins at all. I mean, it's pretty clear that he elevates players around him, and he has. He's elevated that offense. He has guys believing in themselves. He has Kyle Pitts looking the part. He has Drake London looking the part. He has Darnell Mooney looking the part. I mean, he elevates everybody around him. I'm not going to take that away from him. They are a good football team this season, but they're just not good. They're just not better than any of the top NFC teams. They're not going to beat the 49ers. They're not going to beat the Detroit Lions. I don't even think they might beat the Chicago Bears, to be honest with you. Like, I they're good. You know, they're better than they have been in years past, but I can't go into the Super Bowl. Nah. But they have put together a team they can build on. I will say that. TJ, the organization is screwed. I mean, to say I really believe someone is holding them back from their potential. Yeah, Mickey Loomis. Yeah, Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis is. You know, like, I mean, it's pretty evident, man. It's pretty evident. I'm gonna take a few more, and then I gotta get up out of here, folks. I gotta go get Paxton from school, man. Y'all haters really like the Saints. I mean, look, I like to think that they like me. You know, I think they like me, man. Look, I don't blame them though, man. You know, I like to pride myself as being pretty entertaining, you know, and you know, I don't care. Like, man, look, if I can dish it, I can take it. And I think it's only fair. I really do. I think it's only fair. But I'm not going to stop talking because this is the way that I feel. This is the way I feel. I'm going to give them credit because I'm not going to just sit up there on the NFC South roundtable and not like give my perspective on certain things, right? I can say that they're a good football team at the same time, say I don't like them. But if you can dish it, you can take it. It's just that simple, man. Like they have a right to come in here and retweet the things that I said, right? I mean, that was my thoughts at the time. I don't change the way that I feel. I was just doing it based on what I felt at the time. You're not going to always be right about situations. People are never going to retweet the things that you got right. They're always going to retweet the things that you got wrong. Or if they don't believe in something that you're saying, they're going to use it to try to, like, I guess, like crush your credibility. But I don't feel like my credibility is crushed because I feel like I got way more positive equity in this thing than negative. And then, you know, you're going to miss sometimes when you're giving your opinion about certain situations. That's just the reality of it. Let's see, TJ, this organization is screwed for one. I believe someone is telling them not to play today potential. I don't know. I'm not delusional. I expect us to win the division, but that's about it. Jimmy Lake is a garbage defensive coordinator. I think that he's a decent defensive coordinator. I'll just need a pass rush. Like, I think maybe they're a pass rush away from really making some noise. So if DA isn't fired, bro, we might need to boycott. I agree with that. Me to let me know if you do, I will contribute to it. Yeah, you talking about that second line. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to do something. I already read that. Nice glasses, TJ. Who that fam? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I wear glasses, you know. I wear glasses there, you know, all the time. But of course, you know, if I'm on camera, it leaves a glare when I'm using like my lights, you know, when I'm using my camera lights. So I mean, I'm in my kitchen right now, so and I'm using my laptop, so it doesn't like reflect or anything like that. But yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It says that wasn't for you, TJ. That was for the Falcons. Oh, nah, it's okay, man. Like I said, man, look, I appreciate the Falcon fans showing up. I do. I appreciate, like, rather they come up here to talk noise, rather they come up in here, you know, the like beat on their chest. Like, bruh, I'll be doing the same thing. Like, I ain't gonna much talk. I ain't gonna even lie. I'll be doing the same thing if my team was winning, right? I'll still be showing up, you know. I mean, they got a right to do it. My thing is to think that I'm gonna stop talking because my team 2-6. Your team is 2-6. LOL doesn't bother me, man. Especially like if I'm talking about a team that just started to be prosperous for the first time in nearly a decade. Like, I feel like you still got room to talk. TJ, rise up. ATL gonna win the Super Bowl inside the Little Caesars beats the Superdome, and we can't wait. Respect to you, bro. Wish it you continuous success, said Jared. Jared, look, I appreciate that too. Look, and I wouldn't think any other way about how you feel about the team. I just don't agree with what you're saying. I just don't. I think that you're going to win the division. I think that that's pretty evident. I think that you're going to get a home playoff game. And if you end up, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know if the 49ers are gonna win the West. I don't know if they're gonna win the West. And that'll be the worst case scenario, that the 49ers, that the San Francisco 49ers have to travel to Atlanta as a 5 seed or something like that. If Atlanta is like a 4 seed, that'd be the worst luck of the draw that you can get right there. Like in the first round, you would want to get like somebody like maybe, I'm trying to see, maybe Chicago or something like that. Like Chicago, you might get Minnesota, because you got to play them again. I mean, like, it's gonna be tough, man. I don't know. And I feel like if you got some guys, man, that can get pressure on Kirk Cousins, tough day at the office. TJ, is it a way you can reach out to the Saints fans to tell them do not go to the games? We need someone in a higher up to step up and get rid of Mickey Loomis. We need to clean house like Washington did. Well, I got this tweet going around, man, that people have been sharing and liking about not going to the games, not going to the dome. I'm putting emphasis on the dome, because I feel like I'm not trying to backpedal here, but I do feel like if you go, like, let's just say, for example, if you went to that Chargers game, right? If you went to that Chargers game out in LA, that mostly benefits the Chargers more so than the Saints. Like, it just does. If you're actually going to the game, like, it's going to have to take like the Saints playing against the Falcons, and it sounded like a Falcon home game. Like, I think that's when they're gonna realize that, because that is like your bitter rival right there, and you got them like making it sound like it's Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. All right, a few more, then I'll go ahead and get up out of here, man. It says, don't waste these negative energy time on these dirty birds, TJ. Well, like I said, man, when people say that, stuff like I'm big mad and all that kind of stuff, I got to make it clear that I am. I don't care how it sounds. I don't like. I always wonder to myself, like, what does that actually mean? Like, is that going to make people like not pay attention to what I'm saying? No, it's not. I like, there's a reason why. I'm not like, of course I don't want to see them succeed. I mean, that's just the reality of the thing. That's just that's just the reality. I don't. Just like they don't want to see the Saints succeed. I feel like the Saints were playing to not lose yesterday instead of to win. I mean, that's the understatement of the day right there, Jay Muse. That is the understatement of the year, of the day, the year, the decade. These guys are cowards, man. They playing like cowards. They playing scared, but they got a scared, cowardly coach. So birds of a feather flock together. I feel bad for these players. They know that this guy isn't a winner. They know they ain't going to win nothing with him. But Mickey Loomis just continues to bring this dude back. It's almost like a cockroach that you can't kill. And if you're from New Orleans, you know what I'm talking about. Always got that flying cockroach that you step on about 3 or 4 times. He still managed to crawl behind your refrigerator. I ain't always, what I'm saying, I ain't always been in the best of conditions. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, if you're from the ninth ward like me, you know what I'm saying, you turn on the lights, the roaches scatter. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But there's always that cockroach that you try to step on. He just don't want to die. And that is what he is right now. I'm starting to think, like, if there was a nuclear war, there would be, they used to say they have 2 things that exist, cockroaches and Twinkies. I want to put Dennis Allen in there as well. If there was a nuclear bomb that dropped on Earth, there'll be 3 things surviving: cockroaches, Twinkies, and Dennis Allen. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I really do appreciate it. My final thoughts are very, very simple before we get up out of here. Number one, they're supposed to get Derek Carr back. Don't care. I mean, you might win a game or 2 that probably wouldn't win without him, but who cares? Your defense is in shambles. You told us that Pete Warner was Lawrence Taylor, and now when he comes back, everything going to be exalted. There's always an excuse. I'm tired of the excuses. The only thing that I want to hear or see is Adam Schefter telling us that this guy has been fired. That would be the best That would be the best news I get all day. I'm telling you, that would be better than, look, that would be Saints win NFC South, Saints get playoff berth, Saints advance to the NFC Championship, Saints go to Super Bowl. That would be on that level for me. I'm so serious. Like, this guy has got to go. My goodness. Everything that he touches, it just ish. It's just ish, man. And I honestly feel like we get a false sense of reality about these football players because they don't have the right guy in leadership to be able to get the best out of them, not holding guys accountable, making more guys feel more important than the other guys, willing to call other guys out, but don't want to call out the veterans because they're making a certain amount of money, and you hitch your wagon to them to make, because they have to make you look good. Miss me with that nonsense right there, man. But thank y'all so much. We're powered by BETUS. Sign up today. Get up to 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your second and third. Download the BETUS app. Use the website. Use the promo code YouTube150. Take care. Till next time, all I got to say is,
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.